You're listening to the Magnetic Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Calandra Martin, intuitive brand designer for spiritual entrepreneurs. The Magnetic Boss Podcast is where visionaries come together to openly share wisdom and authentic conversations. I know that you are ready to leave your legacy in the world and become sought out in your industry. I also know that you are sick and tired of getting overlooked. You're ready to have a magnetic business. I'm here to help you create your magnetic brand. It's my mission to help you show up confidently with a professional, irresistible online presence. If you're in this for the long game and all in on the big vision you have for your business, let's dive in. Welcome back to the Magnetic Boss Podcast. Today, I want to dive in with you on a topic that is in part mindset and in part strategy and tangible things that you can be doing in your business to help your brand stand out. So today's topic is how to stand out in a saturated market. And when I say saturated, I want you to envision this in quotation marks, quote unquote saturated, because oftentimes as an entrepreneur in the online space, it can seem like everyone is doing the same exact thing that you're doing. Chances are you follow a lot of people on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you are spending your time. You're following people that are in the same industry or very similar industries as you. So if you're a business coach, you probably have a lot of business coaches in your network. If you are a network marketer, chances are there are a lot of other network marketers likely sharing the same types of products, maybe even within the same company as you. And this can feel really overwhelming and frustrating if you're in a lack mindset. If you are in this mindset of thinking that, well, everybody else is doing it, so maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe people are just going to look past what I have to share and they're going to follow this person that's doing it better than me, right? I know that I've been in this spot before, so I want to share with you some of my key points, whether they're mindset or strategy or a little bit of both, that are going to help you really allow yourself to look past this limiting belief and start allowing yourself to stand out. And when I say allowing, I mean that this is something that has to be done intentionally. As a business owner, as somebody who is cultivating a brand, you have to decide that you are going to be the person that your ideal client, your dream client, seeks out. It's not a matter of having the perfect funnel or having your website in order. It is truly a matter of getting behind your business 110% and showing up in that way, embodying your business in that way. So I want to share with you a couple of key points. The first one being that no one can do what you do the way you do it. So as a business owner, whether you have hundreds, thousands, millions of people doing the same exact thing as you, I want you to understand that the way that you show up, your energy, which is one of the components of branding that I always teach, right? I talk about the visuals of your brand, your logo, your colors, your fonts, all of those pieces, and your energy. Your energy is the thing that is going to set you apart the most, and it's also going to help you ground into this idea that nobody can do what you do the way that you do it. So I want to give you an example for this. Think about your favorite coffee shop. Now, there's a chance that your favorite coffee shop is a franchise. So maybe you are a big fan of Starbucks. Maybe Starbucks is your go-to. Maybe you're a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts. If you are in New England, and I'm not sure if they are national or not, but if you're in New England, maybe you're a big fan of Aroma Joe's. There are so many different options. Or maybe your favorite coffee shop is a local coffee shop nearby that you can sit at and enjoy the environment, right? There's so many options. And so what I want you to recognize here is that you choose the place that you go to for your coffee based on the way that that business makes you feel. I talk about this in branding all of the time. Now, what is important to recognize is that you could very easily view coffee, the coffee industry, as a saturated market, right? There's a million and one coffee roasters, businesses that are selling the actual coffee. And there are also a million different businesses that are distributing that coffee, whether it's a privately owned coffee shop or a franchise like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. But at the end of the day, even though this market is quote unquote saturated, you are drawn to a specific coffee shop because of the way that it makes you feel. Which leads me to point number 2. Your energy is everything. I already touched on this a little bit, but I want to drive this home because your energy is what is going to set you apart. The way that you structure your business model, the way that you interact with your clients or customers, the way that you show up on social media, the types of messaging that you have, the way that you are representing your brand visually, all of that contributes to the way that you make people feel. And when we are talking about service providers, whether you are a business coach, a virtual assistant, a designer, a Reiki healer, you name it, if you are helping somebody with something, those people are coming to you because you are you. They are coming to you because of the way that you make them feel, the experience that they have with you. This is something that we touch on inside the membership, is cultivating your client experience, because this is really going to set the tone for everything in your business. It is going to create culture and community. And this is also true for a coffee shop analogy. If you think about how quote unquote saturated the market is for coffee shops, what sets them apart is the experience that their customers have. So for example, when you go through Dunkin' Donuts, it is a quick in and out experience. You get your food, you get your coffee, and you know exactly what is on the menu. Same thing for Starbucks. But the difference is that Starbucks is really positioning themselves in the marketplace as the luxe luxury coffee shop, right? You know that you're going to spend a little bit more. You also know that they have your favorite fancy coffee drinks, and you're going to get to try out the new ones that are coming out every season, right? So really just be mindful when you are consuming with other businesses. Pay attention to what draws you in, and pay attention to the reasons that you are investing your time, your energy, your money into these businesses. Because as a business owner, this is something you also want to analyze for your own business. Why do people come to you? I was on a really incredible mastermind call with a couple of fellow business owners in the last week or so, and we were talking about our marketing strategies and planning out our year ahead and content planning and launches. And one of the conversations that we had was around planning our content for specific launches. And a question that I asked the other women on the call that I want to share with you today is, what makes your offer, your product, your business unique? What is the thing that people are going to invest in that they can't get anywhere else? And it might not necessarily be a feature, it might not be part of the program, but it absolutely can and should be reflective of your brand as a whole. The energy that you bring to the table, the experience that they're going to have, the transformation that they are going to have as your client or customer. This is really going to allow you to stand out regardless of who is standing beside you. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself that question. Anytime you are launching something, anytime you are talking about your business, what makes you unique? What makes you and your business different from somebody else who is doing the same exact thing that you are doing? Because again, going back to point number 1, no one can do what you do the way that you do it. I want this to be a mantra that you put on your refrigerator, your bathroom mirror, your office space, somewhere that's going to trigger you to remember this, because it can be something that we get caught up in, right? This idea that we aren't good enough, we're not doing enough, we don't stand out, people are overlooking what we have to share, nobody is listening, nobody's commenting, right? We can get into this tailspin of really just jumbled thoughts and what I like to call gremlin voices. So I want you to be able to shift the story that you are telling yourself about your business. This is my third and final point. So again, going back to the mindset here, in addition to knowing the strategy behind and intentionality behind your business of what you are doing and how it sets yourself apart from the market, you also have to be able to shift the mind chatter. You have to be able to start telling yourself a new story. Now, something that I love to do is to have a series of mantras that are just on repeat in my brain. And I have a really awesome app that I want to share with you today. I am not an affiliate with this app, but they are truly awesome. It's called Think Up. There is a free and a paid version. I paid for this app and I'm so, so glad that I did. And what this app allows you to do is you get to create your own custom mantras or choose from ones that are in their existing library. And you record those mantras or affirmations in your own voice. Then once you have your set of mantras and you can create different categories, different topics, you're then able to play those mantras in your own voice, which is really, really powerful. Takes a little bit of getting used to if you're not used to listening to your own voice, but it is very powerful. You listen to those mantras on repeat for as long as you want. You can set timers. You can add music to the background, which is really awesome if you wanted to do a meditation practice with the app. And when you're able to start shifting that language, both internally and externally, when you're talking about and thinking about your business, you're going to change the story. The paradigm is going to shift. So instead of saying to yourself, the market is so saturated, everybody is doing the exact same thing as me. How am I ever going to stand out? How are people going to find me? Nobody is seeing me. Start shifting that. Start telling yourself that I am sought out in my industry. People are looking for my services. Everybody knows that I am the go-to resource for this problem, right? Really allow yourself to formulate those thoughts, formulate those affirmations, and then consistently and repetitively tell yourself your new story. This is going to be a really powerful practice in allowing yourself to shift from, oh my gosh, everybody's doing what I'm doing. I'm not cut out for this, to I've got this, right? People are ready and eager to pay me. People are excited to work with me. I'm just giving you some ideas here. So I want you to really take action on this. I want you to implement this strategy because honestly, even though it is a mindset shift for the most part, it is a strategy. It is a tangible strategy because what you're doing is you're reprogramming your brain, which is realigning your energy to attract clients and customers. This is where the magnetism of your brand really starts to shine through. This is where people will come to you and say, I don't know what it is about you. And I've been looking at other people that do the same thing, right? I've had people tell me this. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling really drawn to working with you. That is the kind of feedback that you get when you have a magnetic business, when you have a magnetic brand. And the only way that that can happen is if you are in alignment. And I know that's an overused word, but it is fitting. When you are in alignment with the ultimate outcome that you desire. So if you desire to have an iconic brand, if you desire to be sought out in your industry, if you desire to be one of the most recognized people in the market with whatever industry you're in, then start acting like that. Start showing up in that way. Decide right now that that is your new story and allow all of the other pieces to fall into place. Putting together your client customer experience, allowing your content and everything that you share with your brand to reflect that level of magnetism and knowing that you are unstoppable. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. I'm going to keep this a short episode today. I really encourage you to start recognizing when you have these thoughts around, oh, the market's too saturated. Nope, can't do this. Recognize those thoughts, allow yourself to honor them, and shift the story. Create a new story for yourself. If this episode was helpful for you, if you are loving the content here on the podcast, I would love for you to leave a rating and review on iTunes. And please share this episode with somebody that you love and care about and really want to encourage in the online space, because these messages I record, I spend my time and my energy creating because I know that there are people out there that need to hear this. So I really appreciate you sharing the show, tagging me on Instagram, and I will see you next week for another jam-packed episode.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you are listening so you never miss a beat. For episode show notes, visit calandramartin.com/podcast. Your iTunes reviews and your sharing of the show helps us reach more magnetic bosses just like you. Until next time.